Commander Allison Reed stared at the large screen in front of her. The strange object had appeared near Jupiter 12 hours ago. It wasn't moving like anything made by humans. Her hands gripped the edge of the control panel as she waited. "Commander, we're getting a signal," said Officer Paul Green, his eyes wide with shock. "It's not one of ours." The room went silent. After decades of searching the stars, hoping for signs of other life, the moment had finally arrived. Humanity was not alone. "Put it through," Allison ordered, her voice steady despite her racing heart. The screen flickered, then showed a being, unlike anything she had ever seen. It had blue-gray skin with patterns that seemed to shift like clouds. 4 eyes blinked at different times, and when it spoke, its mouth moved in strange ways. "Greetings, people of Earth. I am Senior Ambassador Kralthax of the Galactic Council, representing over 300 spacefaring species across the Milky Way." Allison took a deep breath. "This is Commander Allison Reed of the United Earth Defense Force. We welcome you to our solar system." The alien's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. "We have been watching your species for some time. Your recent advances in quantum energy manipulation have caught our attention. The Council wishes to formally invite humanity to join our ranks." Something in the ambassador's tone made Allison uneasy. There was nervousness there, maybe even fear. "That's very kind," she replied carefully. "We would be honored to learn more about the Galactic Council." "Excellent. We request a delegation to accompany us to Nexus Prime, our central world, for formal introductions." After the transmission ended, Allison immediately called Earth's central government. Within hours, an emergency meeting was held with world leaders, scientists, and military officials. "I don't trust them," said Admiral Ben Harrison, pacing the conference room. "Why now? We've been broadcasting signals for over a century." Dr. Elizabeth Ward, Earth's top quantum physicist, pulled up images of their recent experiment. "It has to be this," she said, pointing to the glowing blue energy field they had created last month. "Somehow, our quantum breakthrough scared them." "Scared? Aliens who have mastered interstellar travel?" asked John Miller, a captain in Earth's diplomatic corps. "That doesn't make sense. Unless," Dr. Ward said quietly, "we accidentally discovered something they've been trying to keep hidden." The room fell silent as everyone considered this possibility. 3 days later, a small team was prepared for the journey. Captain John Miller would lead the diplomatic mission, with Commander Allison Reed representing Earth's defense forces and Dr. Ward bringing her scientific expertise. As they boarded the alien vessel, Allison noticed how the alien crew seemed to watch them with a mixture of curiosity and worry. One smaller alien with green skin whispered to another while pointing at Dr. Ward's tablet, which contained her research data. "I've uploaded a secure copy of all my work to Earth's quantum network," Dr. Ward whispered to Allison, "and added a few safeguards, just in case." Allison nodded. She had also taken precautions, including a hidden quantum transmitter that could send emergency messages even across vast distances. As the ship's engines hummed to life, Allison looked out the viewport at Earth growing smaller. She couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't really an invitation. It felt more like they were being removed. "Ready for departure," announced Ambassador Kralthax, his voice just a little too cheerful. "The Council is very eager to meet you all." The ship accelerated, and in a flash of light that bent space itself, Earth vanished from view. Humanity's first journey to the stars had begun. The journey to Nexus Prime took 3 Earth days. During this time, Allison and John tried to learn more about the Galactic Council, but the alien crew gave only vague answers. When they finally arrived, the sight took their breath away. Nexus Prime was a planet almost twice the size of Earth, with 7 moons and massive ring structures that appeared to be artificial. Thousands of ships moved around it like bees around a hive. "Welcome to the heart of galactic civilization," Ambassador Kralthax said, his 4 eyes blinking in an odd pattern. "The Council awaits you." They were escorted to a massive dome-shaped building. Inside, representatives from hundreds of alien species sat in rising circles around a central platform. Some looked almost human, while others were so strange that Allison couldn't tell which parts were heads and which were limbs. Grand Counselor Vexinar, a tall being with golden skin and 6 thin arms, stepped forward. "Humans of Earth, we welcome you, cautiously." John Miller frowned. "Cautiously? We come in peace." "Peace, yes," Vexinar said, "but also with dangerous potential. We have granted you access to our archives. Review them, and you will understand." In a large room filled with floating screens, Dr. Ward quickly found what they needed. Her face grew pale as she read. "According to this, human neural structure is classified as dangerously efficient," she said. "Our brains make connections faster than almost any species they've encountered." "That can't be right," John said, looking over her shoulder. "We're not that special." Allison pointed to another screen. "This report is about our quantum energy breakthrough. They've been monitoring it from the beginning." The data showed that what Earth scientists thought was a modest advancement had triggered ancient protocols regarding potential destabilizing species. "They're not welcoming us," Allison said quietly. "They're trying to contain us." As they dug deeper, they found more disturbing information. The Council had been governing the galaxy for over 50,000 years. During that time, they had managed dozens of young species that showed too much promise, too quickly. "Look at these technological development charts," Dr. Ward said, showing a comparison between human history and other species. "We've compressed into a few centuries what took most Council races millennia to achieve." "It's our nature," John said. "Humans are always pushing boundaries, always wanting more. And that terrifies them," Allison realized. "What we call progress, they see as a threat." Their research was interrupted when guards entered the room. "The Council requires your presence," one said flatly. Back in the great chamber, the mood had changed. The friendly masks were gone. Grand Counselor Vexinar glared down at them with all 4 of his eyes. "Humans," he began, his voice colder than before. "We have reviewed your quantum research data more thoroughly. What you have discovered bypasses fundamental limitations that all Council technologies accept as immutable. This cannot be allowed." John stepped forward. "With respect, our research belongs to humanity. You do not understand." Vexinar cut him off. "This is not a negotiation. The Council has decided. Earth will surrender all quantum research and accept Council oversight of your technological development, or face preventative measures." The threat hung in the air like a storm cloud. "And if we refuse?" Allison asked, her hand moving slowly toward the hidden quantum transmitter in her pocket. Vexinar's golden skin darkened. "Then Earth will be classified as a Level 1 threat to galactic stability. The appropriate protocols will be activated." Dr. Ward stood tall despite her fear. "You mean you'll attack our planet?" "We prefer the term containment," Vexinar said. "You have 48 hours to agree to our terms." As they were escorted back to their quarters, Allison managed to activate her transmitter. A single message, quantum encrypted and impossible for the Council to detect, shot across the vast distance to Earth. "Protocol Prometheus, Council hostile, prepare." Back on Earth, Admiral Frank Patterson slammed his fist on the conference table. "An ultimatum? Who do they think they're dealing with?" His face turned red with anger as he addressed the emergency meeting of Earth's leaders. "The message from Commander Reed was clear," said the United Earth President. "The Galactic Council views our quantum research as a threat. They want us to give it up and accept their oversight. Or face preventative measures," added Defense Minister Laura Davis, "which we can only assume means military action." The room buzzed with worried voices. Humanity had only recently united after centuries of conflict. Now they faced a threat from beyond the stars. "What are our options?" asked someone. Admiral Patterson stood straight. "I can tell you what is not an option. Surrender. Humans don't bow to threats, not even from advanced alien civilizations." In another part of the complex, scientist Greg Simmons worked frantically, analyzing the data Commander Reed had included with her warning. Something about the Council's technology bothered him. He pulled up charts and ran comparisons. "This can't be right," he muttered. Then louder, "This can't be right." He rushed to the conference room, interrupting the heated debate. "Sir, Madam President, everyone, you need to see this." He projected his findings onto the main screen. "I've been comparing the Council's technology with our own development timeline." The screen showed two lines. One, representing human technological advancement, rose steadily, then sharply upward in recent centuries. The other, representing the Council, showed minimal change across thousands of years. According to this data, the Council's technology has barely advanced in 50,000 years. They found a level they were comfortable with and just stopped. "That's impossible," Minister Davis said. "No civilization just stops advancing." "Unless," Greg said, "they deliberately chose to. What if the Council isn't afraid of our quantum breakthrough itself? What if they're afraid of what it represents, our relentless pace of innovation?" Admiral Patterson studied the chart. "You're saying we're advancing too quickly for their comfort?" "Exactly," Greg nodded. "In a few centuries, we've compressed development that took them millennia. At this rate, we'll surpass them completely within decades." The president stood. "And they can't allow that. So what do we do now?" In the science wing, Dr. Olivia Martinez, who had been working with the quantum research team, made a discovery of her own. She burst into the conference room just as they were debating response options. "The quantum field," she exclaimed, out of breath. "It's not just an energy source, it's a communications medium. We can use it to enhance our defensive systems and create a network that spans our entire solar system." "How quickly can you implement this?" Admiral Patterson asked. "The basics? Days, not weeks. But we need more time for full deployment." The president nodded and turned to Earth's communication officer. "Send our response to the Council. Tell them, we need 2 weeks to consider their generous offer." The officer smiled, understanding the plan. "Yes, Madam President." Admiral Patterson gave new orders. Every ship, every satellite, every defense platform gets quantum enhancements immediately. If they want to fight, they'll get one they didn't expect. Meanwhile, in a secure facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, Chief Engineer Samantha Collins received a special code that activated Protocol Prometheus. She entered a room filled with advanced technology that few people on Earth knew existed. "Begin full deployment of all automated defense platforms," she ordered. "Quantum shielding protocols on all major cities, and prep the new fighter craft for immediate launch." Her assistant looked worried. "Do you really think we can stand against an entire galactic civilization?" Samantha smiled grimly as she watched the systems come online. "They've been coasting for 50,000 years. We've been fighting and surviving our entire existence. They have no idea what they're about to face." Across Earth, humanity prepared for war, not with fear, but with the fierce determination that had carried them through countless struggles throughout their history. On Nexus Prime, Allison, John, and Dr. Ward were kept in luxurious rooms that were clearly prison cells. Guards watched them constantly. They had no way to know if their message had reached Earth. "They're stalling," John said quietly, as they pretended to enjoy a meal. "The Council is preparing their fleet." Allison nodded slightly. "Whatever happens, we need to be ready to move quickly." Dr. Ward had been unusually quiet, working on her tablet whenever the guards allowed it. Now she slid it across the table, showing a complex diagram. "I've been studying the quantum field more closely. It's not just a power source or communication method. It might be something far more important." Before she could explain further, the door slid open. Ambassador Kral Thax entered with 6 guards. "The Council has received Earth's response," he said. 2 weeks is too long. You have 48 hours, no more." After he left, Allison leaned close to her companions. "We need to escape now. They're going to attack Earth no matter what we say." John looked at the guards outside their door. "How? We're completely surrounded." Dr. Ward smiled for the first time in days. "Not completely." She tapped her tablet and suddenly the lights flickered. The guards' weapons powered down. In the confusion, Allison moved quickly, disabling 2 guards with combat moves they never expected from a human. "This way," Dr. Ward called, leading them down a service corridor. "I've been mapping the station through the central computer. There's a small scout ship 3 levels down. How did you access their systems? John asked as they ran. The quantum field, she explained between breaths. It connects to all energy systems, even alien ones. I just had to find the right frequency. They reached the hangar and found the small ship. As Dr. Ward worked to start the engines, alarms blared throughout the station. They've discovered our escape, Allison said, taking position at what looked like weapons controls. Almost there, Dr. Ward muttered, her fingers flying across the alien controls. Just need to... Got it. The ship hummed to life and lifted off the hangar floor just as armed guards rushed in. Energy blasts hit the ship's hull, but they were already moving, speeding toward the hangar doors. The doors aren't opening, John shouted. Hold on, Dr. Ward said calmly. She pressed a sequence of buttons, and the quantum field around the ship glowed brighter. This might feel strange. The ship shimmered, and then, impossibly, passed through the solid hangar doors as if they weren't there. What just happened? Allison asked, staring in disbelief. Quantum phasing, Dr. Ward explained. The field allows matter to pass through other matter under the right conditions. It's something I discovered right before we left Earth. As they accelerated away from Nexus Prime, they saw massive warships assembling. The Council was preparing for war. Back on Earth, Samantha Collins watched as the quantum network expanded. Satellites, defense platforms, and ships all connected through the invisible field. But something unexpected was happening. Sir, she called, to Admiral Patterson. You need to see this. On her screen, the quantum field showed unusual patterns. It wasn't just connecting machines, it was connecting people. The field is enhancing neural activity, she explained. People working within it are sharing knowledge, skills, almost like a collective consciousness, but everyone keeps their individuality. The Admiral watched in amazement as military personnel, using the quantum systems, began to coordinate with unbelievable efficiency. Pilots in quantum-enhanced fighters demonstrated impossible reaction times. Engineers solved problems together that would have taken months to figure out alone. This changes everything, he said quietly. At that moment, their sensors detected a quantum ripple, the signature of a small ship emerging from faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. It's Commander Reed, an officer shouted. They've escaped. The mood in the command center lifted, but their celebration was short-lived as the sensors detected something else, a massive fleet of Council warships following close behind. All stations, Admiral Patterson ordered, his voice firm. Battle positions. Activate Protocol Prometheus. Let's show the Galactic Council what humans are really capable of. Across Earth and throughout the solar system, humanity prepared to face the greatest challenge in their history. The quantum network hummed with power and purpose as billions of minds joined together in a way never before possible. The Council was about to learn why it was right to fear humanity's potential. The Council fleet entered the solar system with overwhelming force. Over 200 massive warships moved in perfect formation, their weapons systems fully charged. At their center, the flagship Eternal Dominion carried Grand Counselor Vexnar himself. The humans have had time to prepare, warned his chief tactical officer, but our scans show nothing that could stand against this fleet. Vexnar's golden skin gleamed in the dim light of the command center. They are primitive. This will be swift and decisive. The fleet approached Mars, expecting no resistance until they reached Earth. They were wrong. Hidden stations on Mars's moons activated, projecting quantum shields around the entire planet. The Council ships fired, but their energy weapons splashed harmlessly against the shields. Impossible, Vexnar hissed. How did they deploy defenses so quickly? The answer came in the form of small fighter craft that suddenly appeared around the fleet. They moved with impossible speed, their pilots coordinated by the quantum network. Lieutenant William Carter led the first attack wing in Earth's newest fighter, the Quantum Dart. His mind was connected to every other pilot through the field, allowing them to fight as one while maintaining individual control. All wings engage, he ordered calmly. Remember your training. The human fighters darted between the massive Council ships, firing quantum-enhanced weapons that bypassed the alien shields completely. Several Council ships suffered damage before they could react. What is happening? Vexnar demanded as his tactical displays showed confusion across the fleet. Their ships are moving too fast for our targeting systems, the tactical officer explained. And their weapons, they're using quantum fields to phase through our shields. Furious, Vexnar ordered the fleet to fall back and regroup. Activate the planet killer, we will end this now. But as the flagship turned to retreat, its engines suddenly failed. Sir, faster-than-light systems are offline, reported an engineer. In fact, all ships report the same issue. We're trapped in this system. On Earth, Dr. Olivia Martinez monitored the quantum field with growing excitement. It worked. The field has disrupted their FTL capabilities. They can't escape, and they can't call for reinforcements. Admiral Patterson watched the battle unfold on the main screen. What should have been a hopeless fight against a technologically superior enemy was turning into something very different. Report from Lieutenant Carter, an officer called out. First wave of Council ships neutralized. No casualties on our side. The Admiral nodded, impressed but not surprised. The quantum network was proving even more powerful than they had hoped. Pilots could react instantly to threats. Engineers could solve problems in seconds that would normally take hours. And most importantly, everyone connected to the field shared a singular purpose: protect Earth. On the Eternal Dominion, Vexnar couldn't believe what he was seeing. His mighty fleet, which had subjugated dozens of worlds, was being systematically disabled by a species that had barely achieved spaceflight. The planet killer, is it operational? He demanded. Yes, Counselor, but we need to get closer to Earth. Then do it. Push through their defenses at any cost. The remaining Council ships formed a protective barrier around the flagship as it pushed toward Earth. Despite heavy losses, they made progress. The planet killer began charging its main weapon, a device capable of cracking a planet's crust. William. Carter saw the danger. All units, focus on the flagship. They're charging a superweapon. His fighters swarmed the Eternal Dominion, but its defenses were too strong. The planet killer reached 90% charge. In that moment, a small scout ship appeared beside the flagship, the same ship Allison, John, and Dr. Ward had used to escape Nexus Prime. But now it glowed with intense quantum energy. This is Commander Allison. Read? Her voice came through on all channels. Dr. Ward has modified the ship's quantum field. Stand by. The scout ship rammed directly into the flagship's main weapon. Instead of exploding, it phased partially into the weapon's structure, causing a catastrophic energy feedback loop. The planet killer failed spectacularly, its energy turning inward. The Eternal Dominion didn't explode. It imploded, collapsing into a quantum singularity that briefly flashed like a small star before disappearing completely. The remaining Council ships, seeing their flagship destroyed, scattered in disarray. Earth had won the first battle. News of humanity's victory spread across the galaxy faster than anyone expected. The quantum field, it seemed, could carry information across vast distances instantly. Species that had lived under Council rule for thousands of years learned that the mighty fleet had been defeated by a young civilization. On Earth, the celebration was brief. Dr. Olivia Martinez knew the Council would return with an even larger force. The quantum network is still growing, she explained to Admiral Patterson and other leaders. People connected to it are sharing knowledge and skills in ways we never imagined possible. She displayed brain scans on the main screen. Look at these neural patterns. The field allows humans to share consciousness across vast distances instantaneously, but everyone keeps their individual identity. Colonel Richard Hayes, Earth's top military strategist, had been one of the first to fully connect to the network. The experience had changed him. Traditional military doctrine won't work against the Council, he said, but I've developed something new. A tactical system that distributes decision-making across thousands of linked minds. He demonstrated on a simulation. Rather than a central command structure, Earth's defense now operated as a living organism, with each part acting independently, but in perfect harmony with the whole. This will let us adapt faster than any Council attack can develop, he explained. While the military prepared, something unexpected happened in the civilian sector. Amy Nelson, a programmer working from her small apartment, made a breakthrough. Connected to the quantum network, She saw patterns no individual human could have noticed. "I found something in the Council data we captured," she told Dr. Martinez over the quantum link. There were older civilizations before the Council, precursors with technology far beyond even what the Council has. The Council found their abandoned technology and suppressed knowledge of it. "Why would they do that?" Dr. Martinez asked. "Fear," Amy replied. "The precursor technology would have allowed younger species to advance too quickly. But I think I've found a way to access it using our quantum field." Amy's algorithm spread through the network, allowing humans to decode and understand precursor technology that had been hidden for millennia. Engineers began adapting these ancient designs to Earth's defense systems. Meanwhile, light years away, the Council was in chaos. Many younger species, long frustrated by technological stagnation enforced by the elder races, saw humanity's victory as a sign. "The humans have shown us that the Council is not invincible," said the ambassador from Keltar, a civilization only 2,000 years old. "Why should we continue to limit our advancement?" Several species began secret communications with Earth through the quantum network. Dissidents within Council space sabotaged preparations for a second attack. Ships meant to join the new armada suffered mysterious failures. The ancient Zalkree Imperium, most conservative of all Council founding races, demanded extreme action. "The human infection is spreading," said Supreme Patriarch Zol. "We must use the forbidden weapons, destroy their entire solar system." This proposal fractured the Council entirely. Half the member species withdrew rather than support such an action. The remaining Council loyalists prepared planet-killer weapons despite growing protests. On Earth, Allison Reed and Dr. Ward had survived their seemingly suicidal attack. The quantum field had protected them, phasing their consciousness into the network at the moment of impact. Now Allison existed as both a physical person and a presence within the quantum network. Billions of human minds connected with her, sharing her determination and courage. "The Council doesn't understand what they're fighting," she told Admiral Patterson as they prepared for the next battle. "They see our weapons and ships, but those aren't our greatest strength." "What is?" he asked. "Our connections," she replied. "Humans have always been stronger together than apart. The quantum field just makes that literal." Across the solar system, humanity waited for the Council's next move. But they were no longer afraid. For the first time in their history, they were truly united, not by force or fear, but by the very power the Council had tried to suppress. The Loyalist Council races prepared for a final assault on Earth. Their fleet was smaller now, but armed with ancient weapons that hadn't been used in thousands of years. Meanwhile, humanity had been busy. Ambassador Diana Wilson had been chosen to communicate with the rebel alien species. Through the quantum network, she spoke directly to leaders across the galaxy without ever leaving Earth. "We seek allies, not subjects," she told them. "Humanity believes in progress, not control." Many younger species responded eagerly. The Keltari sent technical data on Council ships. The Marindu provided access to secret hyperspace routes. Others promised to sabotage the Council from within. Diana couldn't believe how quickly things were changing. 2 months ago, we didn't know aliens existed. Now we're leading a galactic revolution. Admiral Patterson smiled. "That's how humans operate. We adapt." The Loyalist Council fleet approached through an unexpected route, hoping to catch Earth by surprise. It didn't work. Earth's quantum sensors detected them light years away. "The Zalkree are leading the attack," reported Colonel Hayes. "Their ships carry planet-killer weapons, much more powerful than what we faced before." The Earth defense grid activated automatically. Every ship, station and satellite was connected through the quantum field. But something new had been added. Precursor technology reverse-engineered from Council archives. When the Council fleet emerged from hyperspace near Saturn, they found a changed solar system. Quantum shield generators surrounded each planet. Earth ships moved with impossible speed and precision. Supreme Patriarch Zol of the Zalkree stared at the sensor readings in disbelief. "How could they advance so quickly? This is beyond anything we predicted." His tactical officer looked equally shocked. "Sir, they've deployed technology similar to the ancient ones, the technology we were ordered to keep hidden." Zal slammed his eye, fist down. "Impossible, attack immediately." The Council ships fired their planet killers at Earth. The quantum shields flared brilliantly, but held firm. Earth's counterattack was devastating. Ships linked through the quantum network moved as a single organism, anticipating Council tactics before they happened. Lieutenant William Carter led the fighter assault again. This time, his consciousness was merged with hundreds of other pilots. They thought and moved as one, while maintaining individual control. "Target their command ships," he ordered. "Disable, don't destroy." His fighters swarmed the larger vessels, using quantum phasing to bypass shields and disable weapons. Council ships found themselves unable to track the human vessels, which seemed to flicker in and out of normal space. Aboard the Zalkree flagship, Zal watched his mighty fleet being systematically neutralized. Not destroyed, disabled. The humans were showing restraint. "Surrender," came a message on all frequencies. "We don't wish to destroy you." Zol's pride wouldn't allow it. "Activate the final protocol," he ordered. "If we cannot win, no one will." His flagship began to glow with deadly energy. It was converting its entire mass to destructive force, a suicide weapon that would destroy everything within half a light year. Earth forces detected the buildup immediately. There was no time to evacuate the solar system. "We need to contain that explosion," Colonel Hayes said urgently. Amy Nelson, the civilian programmer who had decoded the precursor technology, spoke up through the quantum network. "I have a solution." The precursors had containment fields for exactly this scenario. Through the network, she shared her idea with every engineer and scientist. Within seconds, they had modified Earth's defensive systems. Special ships moved into position around the Zalkree flagship. "Containment field activated," reported Samantha Collins. When the flagship exploded, the blast was caught within a bubble of quantum energy. For a moment, a miniature sun burned between Jupiter and Saturn. Then it collapsed in on itself and vanished. B2, remaining Council ships, seeing their ultimate weapon neutralized, finally surrendered. On Earth, leaders discussed what would happen next. The galactic order that had stood for 50,000 years had fallen in less than 6 months. "What now?" Admiral Patterson asked. Allison Reed, both physically present and existing throughout the quantum network, smiled. "Now we rebuild. But not just for humanity, for everyone." 1 year after the final battle, representatives from over 200 galactic species gathered on Earth. The old council chamber on Nexus Prime had been abandoned. In its place, a new gathering formed, not based on control, but on cooperation. Allison Reed, now serving as Earth's primary ambassador, stood before the assembly. The quantum network had changed her. She existed both as a physical person and as a presence within the field that now connected willing minds across the galaxy. "We did not seek this role," she told the gathered species. Humanity only wanted to grow, to learn, to explore. The old council saw that as a threat. "We see it as our greatest strength, and yours." The quantum neural network had been offered as a gift to all species who wished to join. Many had eagerly accepted, finding that it enhanced their own unique abilities rather than erasing their differences. "We don't want to rule," Allison continued. "We want to build something new together." Diana Wilson, who had coordinated with rebel species during the conflict, presented the charter of the Galactic Cooperative. Unlike the old council's rules, which restricted development, these principles encouraged advancement while establishing ethical guidelines to prevent harm. The most surprising supporters were the younger members of the former council races. Many Zalkree, once the most conservative of all species, had joined the cooperative after seeing how their leader's fear had nearly destroyed them. Greg Simmons, the scientist who had first recognized the council's technological stagnation, had been working with alien researchers. Together, they had made an astonishing discovery. "The quantum field isn't new," he explained to the assembly. "It's always existed. The precursors knew about it, and some council founders did too. But they buried that knowledge, fearing it would let younger species advance too quickly. With the quantum network spanning the galaxy, advancements came at an incredible pace. Medical breakthroughs eliminated diseases that had plagued civilizations for millennia. Faster-than-light travel became more efficient. Planets damaged by centuries of exploitation began to heal. But perhaps the most profound change was cultural. Species that had been isolated now shared art, music, philosophy, and ideas. The network allowed direct experience of other perspectives, while preserving individual identity. Admiral Patterson, now quite old, watched the changes with amazement. "I never thought we'd see anything like this," he told Dr. Ward as they observed the proceedings. "I was prepared for war, not this." Dr. Ward smiled. "The relentless power that the Council feared was never our weapons. It was our curiosity, our drive to improve, to solve problems." As the new cooperative flourished, ancient archives were opened. The truth emerged about what had happened a million years before. Another species with human-like adaptability had arisen and been exterminated by the precursors who later established the Council. "They feared you would break their cycle of control," explained a former Council historian to Allison. "And you did exactly that." The irony wasn't lost on humanity. Their relentless power had indeed disrupted the galactic order, but instead of destroying it, had renewed. Back on Earth, Amy Nelson had become a symbol of how the quantum network empowered individuals. A civilian programmer who had helped save the solar system, she now led efforts to recover more precursor knowledge. The precursors weren't gods, she explained to a group of students from 12 different species. They were just older civilizations who made both great advances and terrible mistakes. Our job is to learn from both. As ships from hundreds of worlds traveled freely between stars, as knowledge flowed across what had once been boundaries, the galaxy entered a new era. The relentless power of progress, once feared and suppressed, now drove a civilization that embraced change rather than fearing it. And humanity, the catalyst for this transformation, found its true place, not as conquerors, but as connectors, bringing together the incredible diversity of galactic life into something greater than the sum of its parts.